Mr. Rao for his session. I would like to take this opportunity to give a brief introduction. Sir is a senior professor in JNU and he specializes in Sanskrit and poetry, Pali and early Buddhist philosophy, creative writing in Sanskrit. He is the receptionist of Kadambari Award, Delhi Gaurav Samman, gold medal in Sanskrit from Osmania University, gold medal in Pali and Buddhist philosophy from BHU, and gold medal in Pali literature from Osmania University. We welcome you, sir. Sir's presentation would be on the Indian knowledge systems in ancient India.
Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langarayati giri yat krupa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam. Respected chair and all people who are sitting in front of me. Today we are discussing the very serious topic, Indian knowledge systems. That's a basic topic here. I was thinking, listening to all these speakers, previous speakers, I was thinking that why we need to discuss this Indian knowledge systems. But whatever we are discussing here, that is only like a kind of introduction. We are not really discussing the Indian knowledge systems. Indian knowledge systems, like our previous Rajvedam was telling, while explaining how vast it is. So sometimes, as a professor of Sanskrit and Pali, I confuse. Can we really make it, or just we are always talking about it in the conferences? Because for many people, these things are discussed in the conferences, but for me, every day we are discussing this in our classrooms. Whatever we teach, every day we are living in Indian knowledge systems. That is why I am getting this idea, confusion. Those with the youngsters sitting in front of me and scholars, can we really do this Indian knowledge system? Because just discussing about the Indian knowledge systems is not enough. After that, like we say in Upanishads, Atmavare Shrotavya, Drashtavya, Mantavya, Nididhyasitavya. First you have to listen and then you have to decide to take in Indian knowledge system. You have to learn them, and you cannot learn all Indian knowledge systems because it is like ocean. You have to choose any one subject, but who is doing that seriously? So this is the main question is coming in my mind. And also why we are discussing Indian knowledge systems, we have forgotten Indian knowledge systems, being Indians, being Bharatiyas, completely we have forgotten what was in ancient India. That is the main problem due to several problems, just the previous speakers already explained to you, due to distortion of our history, due to several shadyantras, whatever happened, but now as a result, what we see, all our Indian students and Indian scholars are just very strangely, they don't know anything about ancient India. You see, how can they know? Unless they know Sanskrit, Pali, Prakrit, they cannot understand in ancient Indian knowledge systems. If you really seriously, if you want to pursue. So, with this background, I prepared something because I am not dealing very seriously about somebody was telling that I will teach about the Sankhya, Vaisheshika. That's not possible because that everybody can discuss that. You can also see in many other lectures. But now only this I am very strictly limited to this topic about the Indian knowledge systems. When you speak about the Indian knowledge system, we have to remember that Indian civilization, because this is whatever I said just now, that is a fact. But actually, originally what happened, our civilization has given the immense importance to the knowledge. So whenever you open any text of Sanskrit, any text of any ancient text, you will understand our ancestors were quite different from our present civilization. Quite different. I don't know why this difference has come. Our ancestors were great genius people, scientists, and they used the Sanskrit for their scientific explanations. So that is why we say that Sanskrit was the language of science. But now you see, can anybody accept this? If I say now from here, you may accept this in conference. But my problem is after the completion of the conference. Can anybody think about these things? Did you see any time that somebody is discussing about Vedas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads in city bus or somewhere in metro? No. We all have some different problems now. You see, like Shankaracharya says, Udara nimittam bahukruta vesha. So we are all having some problems, that's unemployment, how to get jobs, how to earn money. These are all serious problems, but they are very essential. But side by side, at least now, this is the time everybody is discussing everybody is teaching us, at least this is the time to think that also. So this livelihood is very important, but at the same time, like serious Indians, we should think it's our moral responsibility, duty. Like we say that three kinds of runas we have. Devaruna, Pitruruna, like that, Rushiruna. So we have runas. For that, we have to think about these things. So our knowledge, if you open any book, Indians have given the immense importance to the knowledge. And we, Bharatiyas, have vast body of intellectual texts, different fields, vast body of intellectual texts in different fields. And we have that evidence. What is evidence? Because we have world's largest collection of manuscripts. We have so many manuscripts in India. Of course, many manuscripts are available in Southeast Asia, also in Tibet and other countries, but our manuscript collection is more rich than any other country. So all this is our past. All this is related to Indian knowledge systems. And we have a number of great thinkers in our past, like Bharadwaja, Agastya, Vishwamitra, Vasishtha, all these sages. Not only that, all these names, some names are only known to people, but if you go into the philosophy, many names like Buddha also was one of the sages in the same line. And contemporary to Buddha, there were 6 philosophers. You know that you never heard those names. Makkali Gosala, Pakuda Kachayana, Niganta Nataputta, Sanjay Velati Buddha, other names I am forgetting, but 6 philosophers were there during the time of Buddha. Not 6. 6 are prominently were discussed in Pali literature, but there are many philosophers. So all these people gave importance to knowledge, jnana. In Bhagavad Gita, it's very clearly said that nahi jnanena sadusham pavitram he vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddhaha kalena atmani vindati. So very clearly, Indian knowledge means jnana. Of course, we have jnana and vijnana also, but let us think first about the jnana. So about the jnana, Krishna is telling very clearly, nahi jnanena sadusham pavitram he vidyate. ज्ञान के समान पवित्र कोई और चीज है ही नहीं संसार में. So how to get that jnana? That also is telling in next pada. Tat swayam yoga sansiddha kalena atmani vindati. Yoga sansiddha, yogic man, yogic sadhaka, in course of time, he will get that knowledge. He will get that jnana in his atma. That means in him, because he means atma only. Because knowledge, adhikarana, the base of knowledge according to Indian philosophy, the base of knowledge is Atma. If you study the Nyaya Darshana, Vaisheshik Darshana, Jnana Adhikaranam Atma, clearly it is said. Jnana Adhikaranam means Adhara. Base of this knowledge is Atma. So that's what Krishna says, Kalena Atmani Vindati. And how to get this jnana? Next stanza again, he says that Shraddhavan labhate jnana, tatparas sanyatendriya. So one should have immense Shraddha. Only then you will get jnana. Otherwise, worldly people are actually what worldly people want. Now, what you all want, we are all waiting for the lunch actually. So, worldly people want happiness. Lunch this is our general people, our worldly people's attitude. So you live like worldly people, but if you want to do really a great achievement, that means Shraddha is needed for the jnana. So that is jnana. So because that jnana is very, very important. Because what is jnana? Jnana is something different from vijnana. Jnana and vijnana. And that also comes in the Bhagavad Gita. Jnanam teham pravakshami savijnanam. Jnanam teham pravakshami yajnatva. Like that it comes. Jnanam, Vijnanam, both are coming, but actually the difference according to our Sanskrit literature. Because these interpretations are different for this Jnana, Vijnana also. But the popular interpretation in Sanskrit, what happens? You see, Jnana means the ultimate knowledge. The ultimate knowledge. मोक्ष में बुद्धि लगाने का ज्ञान जो है, everything is ज्ञान. मोक्ष में बुद्धि का लगाने वाला ज्ञान जो है, that is ज्ञान. That is what said in मोक्षे धीर ज्ञानम. Mokshe dhir jnana manyatra vijnanam shilpashastra. Very clearly, Amara Kosha, the Nigantu means dictionary, Sanskrit dictionaries, and you see everything. If I start about this single line, your Bharati Jnana Parampara starts. It needs a lot of time. You see, when I say dictionary, Amara Kosha, how it is? Our dictionaries are amazing. And I will paper shuru kiya hai nahi, but there are so many things are coming. You see, how our dictionaries, they are all prepared in metrical form. Do you know this? Many people don't know this. I know very clearly because we are dealing with everyday students. We know everything. We ask, nobody knows many things. You see, dictionaries, now you know Oxford Dictionary, Cambridge Dictionary. This is not our tradition. We never prepared dictionaries like because this is very, you see, whenever you want some word, you have to go and you have to open and see. Lot of time is needed. Even in the internet, suppose even if you have e-book, you have to first you need internet, you have to open and see. But our dictionaries are in memory. Immediately. You see, whatever I'm saying in memory. I said, no, mokshe jir jnanam anyatra vijnanam shilpa shastrayo. I have dictionary in my mind. So entire dictionaries are written in metrical form and they were memorized. Not studied like this, not reference books, nowhere, only in memory. Everything was in memory. You should understand that in ancient India, our dharmika education, this dharmic means this religious or spiritual education was not written. It was only through oral tradition. Vedas, not only Vedas, Bhagavata, Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these literature has been preserved through oral tradition until they were printed for several hundreds of years. Not only this, even Bauddhas and Jainas also for several, that's a great contribution for Buddhism. We have forgotten that. Now many countries are claiming that they are real Buddhists, but they have almost forgotten the contribution of India, at least for 600 years after the collection of the Tripitakas, 600 years we have preserved them through memory. After that, you know about what is Buddhism. We have preserved. That is our Indian knowledge system. So preserving through memory is very, very important. And in this way, we have so many knowledges, systems, knowledge. 18, some people say we have 18 Vidyas. There is another version, we have 14 Vidyas. So several Vidyas we have. Everything starts from Veda. We have 4 Vedas and 18 and 4 Vedas and 6 Upavedas and Purana, Dharma Shastra and 6 Darshanas. So all these are very important in our knowledge. So about the science, when you speak about the science is not essentially something new because we think that science is new. Science is new, Sanskrit is old. So this is what the concept we have. That's what I am writing. Science is not new thing because science is a systematic method of continuing investigation that uses the observation, hypothesis, testing, measurement, experimentation, logical argument and theory and a theory building to lead to more adequate explanations of natural phenomena. And then that is why we should understand that science was existing ancient time. And then that is why we have this jnana, vijnana, these things, whatever. It is like a slide I am showing this mokshe dhir jnanam anyatra vijnanam silpa shastrayo. It is said in Amara. And contribution of our ancestors. What is the contribution of our ancestors? The present generation wants to take credit for many scientific and technological inventions. You see, everybody like whatever invention you see that you give some Western name. We have maybe our scientists also invented few things, but most of the inventions are from West. So they are all taking the credit. So much scientific progress can be traced, but actually these inventions are reinventions only based on the knowledge of our ancestors. So much scientific progress can be traced in ancient literature. Ancient Indian sages were familiar with the gravity, aeronautics, missiles, atomic theory, medicine, astronomy, and cosmology. So all these sciences were existing in ancient India, but and also about the mind. So our ancestors gave very much importance to the study of the mind. If you see in Bhagavad Gita also it is there. We have completely mind Shastra, that is Yoga Shastra. The entire Yoga Shastra deals with the mind. Yoga says the Yoga Chittavritti Nirodha, Tada Drashtu Swarupe Avasthanam. So not only Yoga Darshana, these things. Entire Buddhism, I say, is just standing on the yoga. Whatever Buddha said, that is Yoga Darshana. Buddha starts with the mind only in Dhammapada. Mano Pubbangama Dhamma, Mano Setha Manomaya, Manasache Paduttena Bhasativa Karotiva, Tatonam Dukkam Anveti, Chayeva Anapai. Buddha says. So, and later on, whatever he says, Chandanam chapalam chittam durakham durnivarayam ujum karoti medhavi usukaro tejan. This is all Pali. But same thing, like Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita are explained there. And that is another problem that is separately we have to discuss. How we have forgotten the Pali and these things. And there was all misconceptions and language politics unfortunately started in India. Otherwise, Pali is also same like Sanskrit and ancient Indian language. We have to respect it, we have to study it. And the study of mind in ancient Indian literature could be considered as one of the most interesting subjects of investigation. Everywhere you will find, and in Buddhism, they developed a Yogacara school that is completely based on the mind. And there are some books like Bodhicharyavata of Shantideva, amazing books. Tibetans, Japanese, they read this and they completely adopted this. And particularly in Tibet, Bodhisattva is very famous in Tibet. At least, I think, nearly 100 Tibetan commentaries are there to single book, Bodhisattva. Southern Mathipanchian also wrote a commentary in Tibetan. And we also already had commentaries in Sanskrit, like Prajnakaramati wrote Panchika commentary on Bodhisattva. Entire Bodhisattva completely deals with the Chitta, Bodhichitta. And this is all investigation of the mind. Ancestors gave enough attention to the study of mind. Mind can be our friend and our enemy also. So we say, Manayo Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshayo. So that mind is entire literature, Indian literature, I'm saying, they gave importance to the mind, not the body. And our World Health Organization also, they have defined that definition of mental health, integrates the physical and mental health into the holistic scheme. The World Health, WHO now says that mental health and physical health is called integrated holistic health. That is was already said in Ayurveda. Prasanna Atmendriya Manah, Swastha Ityavidya. The Ayurveda very clearly says who is Swastha, who is healthy, means Prasanna Atma Indriya Manah. Atma or Indriya Man just the Prasanna hai. He is the Swastha, not only just the body. Such a big, very deep and definition. But this but World Health Organization says like this, but this integration in definition has not yet been achieved sufficiently in teaching and clinical practices. They just only understood, but it's not yet achieved. And why modern scientists are not aware of ancient knowledge, Vigyan? Why modern scientists are not aware about our ancient Vigyan? Jnana is, I'm not saying Jnana. Jnana is something, Jnanam, Mokshe, Dhir Jnana. That means Jnana is something to achieve, to that Jnana, which is helpful for the Moksha. That is very highest, very high. But Vijnana only, let us think the Vijnana. This Vijnana, many modern scientists don't know ancient Vijnana, because they are not provided with the knowledge of our ancient sciences either in schools or in the universities. This is another big problem now. Entire Sanskrit curriculum. General people don't know Sanskrit. They don't know minimum Sanskrit also they don't know. But those who are studying Sanskrit also don't know science. Because why? No single scientific book is prescribed in the syllabus in entire India. So that is why you see, I am thinking, I should know. People are talking, but originally, whatever is needed is not being done so far. But I am telling you the fact, I told to even big people also in front of them, entire Sanskrit syllabus is not containing any single scientific. We are talking again and again, we are saying that all this system, all this, but single book, Sanskrit curriculum में वो नहीं रखे अभी तक. There is no single book. What we have philosophy, we have literature, we have dramas, poems, poetry, all this we have. But Varaha Mihiras, Bruha Samhita, no. Surya Siddhanta, no. Even names also are not known by Sanskrit. Names also not known. Not students, even professors also don't know the names. So therefore, they think science is purely modern. You are never given this knowledge. That is why they think the science is purely modern, and there was no science in the ancient period. That is the consequence. In prehistoric times, science passed from generation to other generation, one generation to other generation, in an oral tradition. For example, science in Vedas and Upanishads has transformed from one generation to other generation through oral tradition. There were no written books in those days. And there are two important things here. So I told that Vedas were not written, even Tripitakas were collected, Buddhist Tripitakas also were collected, oral tradition. That doesn't mean that ancient Indians do not know writing. We had the writing, we had the script. People were writing at the same Upanishad time, also later in Bimbisara's time also. We have clear evidence that Bimbisara wrote a letter. Bimbisara was a contemporary to Buddha. But this is very, very, again, the big problem you see when we speak of historicity. We don't know the date of Buddha clearly so far. But whatever existing date, if you follow, Bimbisara is a contemporary to Buddha. And Bimbisara wrote a letter to Pushkara Sati. So we have the writing, but still, Dharmika Sahitya was never written, that was only oral tradition. And after writing, so much collection of manuscripts has started. At least lakhs of manuscripts are there in India. And so many were destroyed in foreign invaders. You all know how Nalanda University Library was burnt. But you see, this is the wonder. India is really wonder. In spite of such burning and destroying, destruction, still lakhs of manuscripts are present. 1 crore. 1 crore. You see what kind of country we had, what kind of past we had. But again, same surprising that what kind of people we are now. We never know anything about that. This is also another wonder. Both are wonders. It's very strange for me. When you think about the ancient sciences, Bhaskaracharya and his law of gravity. And Bhaskaracharya was a mathematician in ancient India. We all know that. And the astronomer who extended Brahmagupta's work on number system. Bhaskaracharya's mathematical works called Lilavati, Bijaganita are considered to be unparalleled works. In his treatise Siddhanta Shiromani, he writes on planetary positions, eclipses, cosmography, mathematical techniques, and astronomical equipment. Astronomical equipment also he mentioned. The credit of discovering Earth's gravitational force is given to Isaac Newton, but it was already discovered by the Indian sage Bhaskaracharya thousands of years ago. In the Surya Siddhanta, he makes a note on the force of gravity. Objects fall on Earth due to a force of attraction by the Earth. Therefore, the Earth, planets, constellations, moon, and sun are held in orbit due to this attraction. Bhaskaracharya was the first to discover the gravity of Earth. And these are the common things, but these are some important things I am going to mention. Like the text of Hindu astronomy named Surya Siddhanta of Varahamihira is amazing and most important. So yesterday night only, unfortunately I did not have much time. I took these verses and typed myself from the original book Surya Siddhanta. It is not from internet or anywhere. So that's why I did not give translation also for this. Sarvatraiva mahi goli swasthanam uparisthitam manyante khe yato golaha tasya korthvam povapyatah. That's what he wrote. Very nicely he explained. See, that is why you see very nicely why I am telling, because I can understand it directly. So that is why we ask always all people should learn Sanskrit first. So he says sarvatraiva mahi gole. Actually what he says, swasthanam uparisthitam manyante khe yato golastasya korthvam povapyatah. Everybody thinks, is what actually in Surya Siddhanta, what Varahamihira says. Everybody thinks that I am standing on earth and sarvatraiva swasthanam uparisthitam, because everybody is thinking that my place is above the earth. You see what he says? हर आदमी सोचता है मैं पृथ्वी के ऊपर खड़ा हूँ, मैं ऊपर खड़ा हूँ. Actually, ऊपर कौन खड़ा है, नीचे कौन खड़ा है? That's what he's raising the question. You see, he knows that globe is a round. वो clearly बता रहा है. Everybody thinks that I'm standing on the earth, but manyante, people think like this, because but the Prithvi is just Prithvi is just standing and the K means in Akash. Where is the Prithvi? In Akash. It is round. That is why Gola. Clearly he says this is a Gola means Golakar mein. Golakar mein. How he found just you Varamira, how Varamira knew that Prithvi is in Golakar. So these are all the questions. And he says that Prithvi is in Golakara and it is standing in the space. People are thinking that they are standing on the globe and standing on the earth, but actually, which is up and which is down is this. If Prithvi is completely in Golakara, which is up and which is down, people are not aware of this. Abhi Prithvi ke upar hai ya niche ke or hai, we don't know. Why we are standing like this? Because Prithvi has a gravitation. That's what I said in previous class. And then, Nanuyam Bhu Samadarshakara Pratyaksha Katham Golakaritya. Now, then he is putting a question. How can you say that this earth is in round like Gola? You can see earth very clearly. It is like a plate. You know, a Maidan jaisa hai. How can you say it is Gola? That's what he is asking in this. You see, he is putting question himself. Nanuyam Bhu, this earth, Samadarshakara. Samadarshakara means equally it is standing. Pratyaksha means we see that it is completely flat. Flat, we can see clearly. Katham Golakaritya, how it is globe? Then he is giving reply. Alpakarataya loka. Alpakarataya loka. Swasthanat sarvato mukham pashyanti vrittam apyenam chakrakaram vasundhara. Loka means log. ये लोग हिंदी में जो आ गए ना, लोक शब्द से ही लोग आए हैं. A linguistic problem. See, everything riddles are there in these three languages. Aka, linguistic problem, historical problem, philosophical problem, spiritual, all problems will be solved if you learn these things. Our ancient reports this knowledge, languages many. But you may ask, how can we learn? That is a different question. But I am just telling the fact. How it can be achieved, that is a different thing. But now you see, Loka means people. People, what actually see? People, Alpakar, people are very small, like chote akar wale hai. Prithvi ka apeksha very, very small hai. Alpakar diya loka. Swasthanam sarvato mukha means they think that they just see from their standing place, just they see the earth. Pashyanti vrittam apena, uske liye to flat dikhai padega because people are very small, he says. Very small. For example, एक बाल के ऊपर एक फुटबॉल है, मान लीजिए चींटी यदि चलता रहता है तो चींटी समझता है इतना ये तो फ्लैट है, इतना ही देख सकता है वो. लेकिन हम बाल से बड़े हैं इसलिए हम देख पा रहे ग्लोब है. ऐसे ही भगवान सारे ग्लोब्स को देख रहा होगा ऐसा. Everything so systematic running or not because he can see but we cannot see. हम तो छोटे हैं उसके ऊपर. तो इसलिए क्लियरली बोल रहे अल्पाकार रहते हैं. लोग बहुत छोटे लोग छोटे आकार में है. That's why they cannot see the biggest आकार. That's very clear. This is all science. This is why I'm reading stanzas and explaining to you. Directly you can understand science is there. Science is there. See, like this we have in ancient scriptures. So alpakarate log swasthana sarvatomaka. They see the entire globe from their place, and that's why they see only flat. Earth is like a flat. But actually, vrittam. But even though it is a globe, vrittam apyenam. Vrittam is globe. ये वृत्त ग्लोब के रहने पर भी चक्राधाराम चक्राकार ये उसके चक्र के जैसा वो देख रहे हैं, like a flat चक्र जैसा वो देख रहे हैं. So this is what he says. And then many other shastras we have like this. Maharshi Bharadwaj discovered the aeroplanes. Maharshi Bharadwaj was one of the 7 great sages in ancient period. Saptarshiyon में एक है. According to modern science, Wright brothers invented the aeroplanes. But aircrafts was used extensively during the Ramayana and Mahabharata time, indicating that the aeronautics was a much developed branch by that time. So Bharadwaja wrote Vimana Shastram. That many people know that. At least this is very famous. In Vimana Shastram, Bharadwaja wrote, I am giving here, Vega Samyat Vimano Andajana. Why it is called Vimana, he is giving first, Shuru mein, first sutra hai, like number 1. Vega Samyat Vimano Andajana. Andaja means egg. Andaja means egg से पैदा होने वाले क्या है? Birds है. उसको विहंगम कहते हैं, अंडज कहते हैं. इसलिए birds को द्विजाति भी कहते हैं. पहले एक के रूप में वो पैदा होता है, बाद में एक से फिर पैदा होता है. द्विजाति. So द्विजाति is also called Brahmins. Because Vijati, that is different context again. So in Pali literature, sometimes actually I saw this Ekajamba Dvijambapi, that verse has come, but one scholar has translated it because Vijati means he knows only Brahmins. But here, there, actually, Dvijati means bird. See, there are so many things. And Andaja means bird. Vimana is equal. Owing to similarity of speed with birds, it is named Vimana. Birds ke jaisa both raftar se jata isliye Vimana aisa bolte. And then he says in second sutra, Rahasya Gyo Adhikari. He gave for pilot, he is giving the name Adhikari. And Adhikari pilot should know the Rahasyas. Rahasya means techniques. Techniques he should know. And that's another sutra. And what are techniques? There are 32 secrets of the working of the Viman. The pilot should acquaint himself thoroughly with them before driving the Viman. And then there is another sutra, and this is how actually we find the science there in ancient Shastras. And when we think about Indian knowledge systems, you should understand all these things, all these factors, and 14 Vidyas and 18 Vidyas also, all are there in our Indian knowledge systems. So for that, you should understand that the foundation of Indian culture is based on Sanskrit language and other two languages also. But often we are habituated to take only one name, Sanskrit always, but there are other two languages also, Pali and Prakrit also. But there is a misconception about the Sanskrit language, that is only the language of chanting mantras in temples and religious ceremonies. This is generally people, Sanskrit means, you see, whenever I say I'm Sanskrit professor or Sanskrit teacher, the immediate next question is, do you know how to perform marriage? Or अब हमारा बाहर की बताइए, जहाँ तक हमारा बताइए, कुंडली. And these two became famous. This is you see how unfortunate it is. But if you see the entire Sanskrit literature, we have this literature. We have astrology, we have mantras, we have all kinds of Shodasha Samskaras are in Sanskrit. But that is, in the body of Sanskrit literature, that forms only 5%. 5%. 95% of the literature is something different. Science and technology, literature, poetics, aeronautics, agriculture, medicine. So many we have. Agriculture also we have. Our environmental awareness also we have. Everything our ancestors have done. That is why Sanskrit, more scientific literature is there. One important thing I am telling to you, because Sanskrit language, you must know the linguistic of our ancient India. It was Chandas actually, very long period, very ancient period. It was Chandas language. It was Chandas, which was used in Vedas, and we had a long history. It's very ancient. Later, grammarians came. There were so many different kinds of variations in the words. But the एक ही शब्द को अलग बोलते थे. There was a kind of confusion has come. So many Prakrits were there at that time. Panini came and he systematized this, and it became Sanskrit. One dhara, one stream only. Other streams are just, they were developing, growing like that. And that is why Sanskrit, Samyak Krutam Sanskritam, that is the definition. It's a refined, but refined from what? So in this way, it is like that. So after that, it became so scientific. And all these, our ancient scientists, thinkers have adopted that language. Oh, this language is very suitable for writing anything. That is why they have taken this language and they started writing in that. Not in Pali and Prakrit. In Pali and Prakrit, we do not have scientific literature. We have other literature, philosophy and many other poetry we have there. But science is there in science. Because we can write perfectly, precisely, we can say, perfectly you can say, correctly you can say, all characteristics are there in Sanskrit. इसलिए आप सुने होंगे, Sanskrit is a computer language. People say, actually many people don't know the meaning of this. Why computer language? Many people, even Sanskrit people don't know this. The gist is, it is so scientific, so systematic. It can be used for the computers. Because the Sanskrit grammar itself is like a computer. If you study Sanskrit grammar, so systematic, so reasonable. So that is why they have taken this this language, and that is why our ancestors have composed sutra literature. In entire world literature, you do not have sutra literature. The sutra literature is only in Sanskrit. Sutra means sutra means Yoga Sutras and Vedanta Sutras. Vedanta Sutra means Adhato Brahma Jignasa. And Vaisheshika says Adhato Dharmam Yakshyasyama. Sankhya says that like that. You see about the dukkha. Dukkhatrayabhigata jignasa. So in this way, yoga chittavritti nirodha. As aphorisms, sutra. Sutra means brief sentence. Sutra brief means sentence means you can also think that अरे हम भी सूत्र लिख सकते हैं. मैंने भोजन किया, सूत्र हो गया. ऐसा नहीं. There are so many things. Sutra means there is a definition about the sutras. Alpaksharam, asantikdam, saravat, vishwatomukam, astobham, anavadyancha sutram, sutra vido. This is great science. You should understand just as a gist, as a saransh. You should understand that you are born in India. That means you are very, very lucky and a great soul. Because you are born in India, that's all. You may be doing or not doing anything because that's such a wonderful land, India. And we should be proud to be born in India because we are born in the same atmosphere in which Bharadwaja was born, in which Vyasa was born, Valmiki was born. With these words, thank you so much for giving me time.